And we're back. And I have snacks. I actually have peanut butter sandwiches. It won't take long for me to finish that. So let's continue. This was interesting. I had a feeling something about this case was going to revolve around the fact that the equestrian legal system, Twilight talking about how it hadn't changed in over a millennium, and I'm guessing that this is going to be part of it. Basically, if you look at our world, just 500 years ago, you were considered to be an adult at the age of 12 or 13, depending on what part of the world you were in. So I can imagine if their legal system hasn't changed in that much time, then Scootaloo's going to be tried basically as an adult for this crime. And admittedly, I'm getting the sense. That's the weird thing. It showed it like a Timberwolf killed the other pony. And that was very gruesome. I was not expecting it to be that gruesome. Like, Turnabout Storm, we had an electrocution, so there wasn't, a whole lot of physical signs of the death. And then the last one was a hanging, and we didn't really get anything super graphic there either. And then this one's just like, yep, nope, hole right in the side of the head, just blood everywhere. I was just like, god damn. I don't know. That's the weird thing, though. It's shown as like a Timberwolf did it, because you see the Timberwolf approaching, but I don't think that's the case. That was too specific of a wound. And it didn't look like a bite mark either. It just looked like a singular hole in the side of the head. I guess we'll see what happens.
No problem. I promise. I won't let any of you down.
I hate to rain on your parade, but if you're going to defend in an equestrian courthouse, you're going to need an equestrian attorney's badge.
Oh, right. And I don't have one of those.
Perhaps it's not too late to get one. Twilight, how does one get a badge like that?
Well, normally you'd have to go through law school. However, since Athena here is already a lawyer, we should be able to make an appeal to the Equestria High Council.
The Equestria High Council. You mentioned them yesterday, didn't you? When you were explaining how you were able to be Mr. Right's co-counsel despite not being a princess? It was because you made an appeal to them, right?
I recall hearing about them as well on my first visit to this world.
Originally, Princess Celestia was going to preside as the judge, but the High Council members were concerned that her verdict might be biased.
But isn't this princess the ruler of your country? Can't she just say, too bad, I'm doing it anyway?
Obviously, I'm pretty sure they've redubbed this with the new voice actors, which is fine.
But every political decision must go by
Helps
the High
keep
Council first. They represent the best interests of the citizens of Equestria.
I guess the
Naturally,
immersion,
this case went by them, and they wouldn't allow the princess to preside as a judge.
losing words.
That's democracy for you. You told me back then that they represent the best interests of Equestria citizens. They even have the power to overrule the princess's authority in some cases. Isn't that right?
Yes, that's correct. The Equestria High Council is made up of 6 ponies. 5 are elected by the general populace from various administrative positions. The 6th member, known as the Lawkeeper, is the head of the High Council. They are elected by the council members themselves whenever the previous Lawkeeper either retires or passes away. The duty of the High Council is to speak for the citizens of Equestria when it comes to making political decisions that affect our country. They advise the princesses when making such decisions, and can even overrule their authority in a majority vote.
Sounds like a pretty basic checks and balance system.
But that's not all they do, right? They have some sway in the legal world as well, correct?
Yes, they are responsible for acting as a jury for certain special trials held in the Canterlot Royal Court. And if you want to stand in court as an attorney without having gone through the typical procedures, you must get permission from both them and Princess Celestia.
What should I do then? Is it not possible for me to get a badge in time?
Well, I think there might be a chance you could.
Phoenix did.
Since you're an acquaintance of myself and Mr. Wright, it shouldn't be too hard to write an appeal for you and Apollo.
Oh, wait a second. I never asked for a badge.
Well, if we're getting one for Athena, I don't see the harm in getting one for you as well. You never know. You might use it someday.
I doubt it.
I wouldn't say
Spike,
that, Apollo. You'll
can you
probably be
get
the
on
star
that?
of the next case.
Yes, ma'am.
How long will it take to hear back from them, Twilight?
It shouldn't take too long, especially since they'll likely prioritize an appeal from a princess.
Like Celestia did for you the last time I was here?
Exactly. We should hear back from them by the end of the day.
Isn't that a little fast? Even if they read your request and responded right away, what about the time it takes to deliver those messages?
About that.
Well, Spike can send messages instantly using his fire breath.
What?
Once Spike writes a letter, all he has to do is breathe fire on it, and it'll send the parchment to where he wants it to go.
That... Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
What do you
Apollo's
mean?
an analyst.
He's burning the paper. How does it get sent anywhere?
Dragon magic.
I'm sorry. That's not a sufficient answer for me. First off,
Apollo, give it up. You're not going to win.
Yeah, Polly, come on. I've already figured it out. It's not that complicated.
Trucy, not now, please.
However, it is true that there could be a delay in hearing back from them. They don't exactly have a dragon to send letters with. A male pony will come by the castle later to drop off their response, and hopefully the badges as well.
In that case,
As long as it's not
probably
derpy.
best if I investigate with Athena. If she's
I
unable
wonder
to
if they'll
defend
do the
tomorrow,
joke
then
that
I'm
they did
going
in
to
Turnabout
have to do
Storm,
it.
where
And I'll
Derpy
come with
didn't
you,
have...
just so you have someone who's
couldn't figure out what
knowledgeable
Derpy's
about this
name
rope
was.
I want to come too. I won't let them call Scootaloo a criminal.
Apple Bloom.
Besides,
we went
this
over
is a chance for me to
last
get my
time.
cutie
This
mark
isn't exactly the
and
kind
being
of
a
thing a silly
lawyer.
like you should be doing.
If I recall,
God damn it.
last time we investigated together,
That's
I
right.
found some pretty important evidence for you. I think I've proven myself when it comes to this investigating
That is a
stuff.
really good Apple Bloom.
Okay. If I say no, you'll just find a way to tag along anyway. At least this way I can keep an eye on you, so that you don't get lost or mess up the crime scene.
Yay! Cutie Mark Crusader, private investigator!
I don't think any more of us should go, though. We don't want to unintentionally disrupt the investigation by having too many of us there. Not to mention the Everfree Forest isn't exactly the safest place to be.
Wouldn't that be a reason to have more, not
Apollo,
less?
Trucy, Spike, and Rainbow Dash, would you all mind heading back to the castle and letting every pony know what's going on?
No problem, Twilight. And I'll get that appeal written and sent as soon as I get back.
Might as well, right?
Rainbow?
Rainbow wants to go too.
You are going to save her, right, Athena?
Of course, Rainbow. You can count on me.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, Rainbow Dash.
Count.
Athena's got drive, guts, tenacity, and especially courage like you've never seen before. Even when the situation is at its bleakest, Athena can power through and force her biggest smile. She'll fight for Scootaloo until the bitter end, dragging out the truth along the way. You can count on her. Drive, guts, tenacity, and courage. Huh?
Do I sense some nostalgia behind those words?
That's what Rainbow Dash
All
said
right,
to
guys,
Scoots, wasn't
we'll
it?
be heading off now.
Wasn't it?
See you when you get back.
It's been a long time
Stay
since I saw that
safe.
episode, but I think Sleepless in Ponyville, right?
Alright, we should probably get going.
Do we even know where the murder occurred, though? I know it was somewhere in this forest, but...
Don't worry, I asked the guards for more information on the crime. They were willing to tell a princess like me the details. Well, one of them was, at least. Follow me.
The one that wasn't a dickhead? Timberwolf.
What was that?
A Timberwolf, probably.
What's a Timberwolf?
They're a breed of magical dogs that live in this forest.
Well,
As the
technically,
name suggests, Their bodies are made of timber and leaves, and they can even reassemble themselves if they get injured.
Like a zombie?
I guess that's an apt comparison.
I suppose that answers that question then.
What question?
Do you remember what happened to me the last time I was here? I was knocked out and left stranded in this forest. Fluttershy had to save me from some vicious dogs that seemed to me like they were made out of wood. If I remember correctly, she said,
Those species of lupine are known to rip their prey apart within a few seconds.
Those sound like Timberwolves, alright.
I had always wondered what those creatures were exactly. And now I know, I guess. Doesn't make recalling that experience any less traumatizing, though.
Poor Feeny.
Please. We're only about 5 minutes into this forest, and already it's giving me the creeps.
Don't worry. As long as we stick to the path, we should be fine. Many deadly creatures like the Timberwolves live in this forest. But if we don't venture into the woods themselves, we shouldn't come across any.
Oh, good. So there's a ton of vicious animals in here just waiting to kill
Yeah,
me.
not to mention,
Awesome!
you know, wild, unpredictable magic.
Although, didn't you
ghosts,
say last
demons,
time
things
that
like
the
that.
more dangerous creatures live much further into the forest, Twilight? That barking sound is relatively close by. And like Athena said, we haven't been walking for that long.
Timberwolves are probably the one exception to that. Many of them inhabit areas very close to the forest's edge. Luckily, they never seem to leave the forest itself, which is good for all of us living in Ponyville.
Okay.
Why in the world was your town founded right next to such a dangerous forest in the first place?
It's a long story. I'm sure Apple Bloom can tell you if you're really interested. It involves the Timberwolves, funnily enough. Right now, though,
It does?
we should get going.
Which way?
I need to
Seems
rewatch
like
the
path
series anyway
splits in
with Gen
3 different
5
directions here.
coming out the
You
end
have
of this
to
year.
keep going
So
straight to reach the crime scene.
What's down the other paths?
The right path leads to Froggy Bottom Bog. It's a swamp full of dangerous aquatic animals and a place where many strange plants grow. The
Including
left
one that will
path
try to turn
leads
you
the
into a tree.
Nightmare Night statue, only about a 3-minute walk away.
Nightmare Night statue?
As much as I'd love to explain, we really ought to move on.
yeah,
We shouldn't be in this forest longer than we have to. And we definitely don't want to be in here after dark.
that's very true.
Oh, that's right. The Everfree Forest is pitch black at night, isn't it?
Well, the moon would be shining, so the path itself and other areas where there are no trees wouldn't quite be pitch black. But anywhere else, the trees are so thick that it may as well be. Sunlight can barely get through those trees during the day. There's no way any moonlight is going to
Yeah,
get through them.
I remember that played a very crucial
Don't
role.
remind me.
Yeah,
Yeah. You got lost in here last time, didn't you, Apple Bloom?
yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't even see my own hoof in front of my face once I ran off the path.
Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah,
There's
getting a lot of
someone I think
callbacks
we
to
should
the
talk
to
first
Turnabout
before
Storm.
we reach the crime scene.
Sakura,
Luckily, it's on the way to it, so we won't need to make too much of a detour.
we're gonna get
Wait,
some
Twilight.
rhyming action in here. Yes, Sakura. Sakura's hut.
Hold up. Is that a house?
Yep.
You mean someone actually lives in this forest?
Yeah.
A good friend of mine named Zakora.
She's an excellent potion maker. She and Twilight taught me everything I know about brewing potions.
Oh, right. I think I remember you mentioning her at some point the last time I was here.
Yeah, she's from some foreign land, apparently. She came to Equestria to expand her knowledge of potion making by experimenting with plants and other stuff not found in her home country.
Huh. That's interesting.
I can't remember what they called it
know
when they
that.
revealed it in the comics. I still
So,
prefer the name
Twilight,
Zebrica.
Was this
I
who you
remember
wanted
that
to
that
talk
was-
to before we got to the crime scene?
Yeah. I figured she might have witnessed something related to the murder, given that she
Why
lives in
wasn't
this
she
forest
talked to
and all.
during Turnabout Storm?
That's a good idea. Let's go ask her.
Wait, stop!
What is it?
What's wrong, Twilight?
Sorry. I just wanted to warn you to stay away from
Oh,
that patch of blue
I didn't
flowers
notice that.
there. Apple Bloom, You remember what this is, right?
Of course I do, Twilight. That's that poison joke that you and the others stepped in that one time. I still remember that like it was yesterday. That was
We
so
all do,
hilarious.
Apple Bloom.
So what does that flower do exactly?
It's a very bizarre kind of flower. If you touch it, it'll play an ironic joke on you. My friends and I once stumbled into a patch of this stuff. The next day, we woke up to find that our bodies had been altered. I, for example, had my horn rendered floppy and completely useless.
Yes, because that was a joke.
My sister became so tiny that she could ride on top of me.
Luckily, it's not contagious. You have to physically touch the plant to be affected.
Good thing she stopped us. I almost walked right through them. I wonder what they would have done to me. Take away my hearing?
Who knows? That's gonna play a part later, though.
Is there, anything else
Check how long
around
we've been
here
going
we should
for.
be wary of?
I don't think so. That was the only thing I spotted.
Then let's go ask Sakura what we need to ask her.
Right.
Her mail's piling up.
It's Twilight. Could you come out? I need to talk to you.
That's not good. She's not here.
Sakura? Doesn't sound like she's home. I guess she must be out gathering herbs or something.
I'm not so sure about
Yeah.
that, Twilight. Look here. See this mail? Notice how this one letter looks much dirtier compared to the others? I can only assume that this has been sitting here for a while.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Sakura always brings her mail in right away so that it doesn't end up like this.
I thought that'd be the case.
So the fact that the mail is dirty means...
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Sakura hasn't had a chance to return home for a good while. Perhaps even a full day.
Hey, boss? You don't think she could be the victim of this case, do you?
No.
What?
Because the writers would not kill off a main character.
She was just out collecting plants
About the
all
time
night.
I say that, though, is the time when they'll decide to grow some
I
balls.
don't think so, Apple Bloom.
What?
Oh, no. Don't worry. I'm not saying that she's the victim. If she was, there'd be police officers here combing her house for clues. Since there aren't any, I think it's safe to say that she's okay.
Oh. Okay. That's good then.
Whoa. The relief in her voice? It's so powerful. She must really care about Sakura.
Yeah, she does.
I should probably apologize to her later for blurting that out.
However, I do think this could mean she's at least connected to our case.
How so?
I can't say for
my
certain,
eyeball.
but if she's been away from her hut for some time, it's possible it could be because she was taken in for some questioning.
That's true.
You got all that just from that one letter?
Well, it's just a guess for now. I have no way to prove that I'm right. But yeah, that's what this letter tells me.
Huh? Hey, Phoenix, could I see that letter for a second?
It's got a seal on it.
Sure.
Just as I thought.
What is it, Twi?
Did you find something?
I did. Look at the seal.
Yeah, what is it?
Hey, I think I've seen that before. Wasn't it during our last investigation?
You're right, Apple Bloom. This is the Canterlot Royal Seal.
What does that mean?
It means that this letter was sent to Sakura by one of the princesses residing in Canterlot, Equestria's capital.
What? Why would...
Why would the princesses want to get in touch with Sakura of all creatures?
It's certainly intriguing, but now's not the time to be concerning ourselves with that. We should keep moving towards the crime scene.
You're right. I'll put Sakura's letter back in her mailbox. We shouldn't be invading her privacy like this after all. The crime scene should only be another 15 minutes away. Let's get going.
the castle. Oh. I think I'm going to end this part here. It's not been as long as the others, but I need to take a little break, go clean out my plate, and get something to drink. That's Scootaloo's wagon with 2 Crusader capes and something else. Is that a roll of the gold fabric that Sweetie Belle used to line the insides of the capes with? And still no body, so we still don't know, and the blood's been cleared away. Why is Scootaloo's... Alright, well, I guess we'll find out. For now, I'm going to end this part here, and we'll continue. Woohoo!
Open your eyes, life is all around you, don't have to be so alone. Take a good look at this world you found and breathe, now you're finally home.